Yesterday, we finished reading the section of the Arahants. Now, we are finally at the final section of the final chapter, the Tathāgata. The first sutta, the Buddha and the Arahants. Monks, through disenchantment with form, feeling, perception, volitional formations, and consciousness through their fading away and cessation, the Tathāgata and the Arahant, the perfectly enlightened one, is liberated by non-clinging. He is called a perfectly enlightened one. Through disenchantment with form, feeling, perception, volitional formations, and consciousness through their fading away and cessation, a monk liberated by wisdom is liberated by non-clinging. He is called one liberated by wisdom. Therein, monks, what is the distinction, the disparity, the difference between the Tathāgata, the Arahant, the perfectly enlightened one, and the monk liberated by wisdom? Venerable Sir, our teachings are rooted in the Blessed One, guided by the Blessed One, take recourse in the Blessed One. It would be good if the Blessed One would clear up the meaning of this statement. Having heard it from him, the monks will remember it. Then listen and attend closely, monks. I will speak. Footnote number 57. It is likely that Bhikkhu Panya Vimuto here should be understood as any Arahant disciple, not specifically as the Panya Vimuta contrasted with the Ubato Bhaga Vimuta Arahants. Okay. Sister Choi Kwan, would you like to continue? Here.
Okay, starting from, yes, Venerable Sir, the monks replied. The Blessed One said this: the Tathāgata, monks, the Arahant, the perfectly enlightened one, is the originator of the path, unarisen before, the producer of the path, unproduced before, the declarer of the path, undeclared before. He is the knower of the path, the discoverer of the path, the one skilled in the path, and his disciples now dwell following that path and become possessed of it afterward. This, monks, is the distinction, the disparity, the difference between the Tathāgata, the Arahant, the perfectly enlightened one, and a monk liberated by wisdom. From Samyutta Nikaya 22.58. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Thanks, Sister Choi Kwan. The one highlighted in blue is the main difference. The Buddha is the originator of the path unarisen before, the producer of the path unproduced before, the declarer of the path undeclared before. And then the disciples dwell following the path discovered by the Buddha. Okay, Sister Aikim, would you like to continue?
2. For the welfare of many. Monks, these three persons arise in the world for the welfare of the multitude, for the happiness of the multitude, cut out of compassion for the world, for the good welfare and happiness of devas and humans. What 3? Here, monks, a Tathāgata arises in the world, an Arahant, perfectly enlightened, the teachers of devas and humans, the enlightened one, the blessed one. He teaches the Dharma that is good at the beginning, good in the middle, good at the end. With the right meaning and phrasing, he reveals the spiritual life that is utterly perfect and pure. This, monks, is the first person that arises in the world for the welfare of the multitude, for the happiness of the multitude, out of compassion for the world, for the good welfare and happiness of devas and humans. Then monks, a disciple of that teacher is an arahant with taints destroyed, as in text 10, section 1.3, subsection 42, completely liberated through final knowledge. He teaches the Dharma that is good at the beginning. He reveals the spiritual life that is utterly perfect and pure. These monks is the second person that arises in the world for the welfare of the multitude, for the happiness of the multitude, out of compassion for the world, for the good welfare and happiness of devas and humans.
Okay, thanks, Sister Hakim. So the Buddha mentioned three persons arise for the welfare of many. So who are these three? The first one, of course, we start with the Buddha. Tathāgata arise in the world. And then secondly, after the Buddha arises, a disciple of that teacher, a disciple of the Buddha, is an arahant with taints destroyed. This is the second person that arises in the world for the welfare of the multitude. Okay, Sister Singhui, would you like to continue?
Then monks, a disciple of that teacher is a trainee practicing the path, learned and endowed with precepts and observance. He too teaches the Dharma that is good at the beginning. He reveals the spiritual life that is utterly perfect and pure. This, monks, is the third person that arises in the world for the welfare of the multitude, for the happiness of the multitude, out of compassion for the world, for the good, welfare, and happiness of devas and humans. These, monks, are the three persons that arise in the world for the welfare of the multitude, for the happiness of the multitude, of compassion for the world, for the good, welfare, and happiness of devas and humans. From ITBW, 84, page 79 to 78 to 79. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Thanks, Sister Singhui. The third person is the trainee practicing for the path. They too arise for the welfare of the multitude. So these are the three persons, the Buddha, the Arahants, and the trainee. Yeah. Why did Bhikkhu Bodhi put this sutta? It's to show that the Arahants is also arise to help people, unlike claimed by some other Buddhist traditions that the Arahants are cool and aloof and not helping people at all, and only practice for their own liberation. So this sutta shows otherwise, that the Arahants also arise for the welfare of many. Okay, Sister Billy, would you like to continue?
Sorry. 3. Sariputta's lofty utterance. The Venerable Sariputta approached the Blessed One, paid homage to him, sat down to one side, and said, Venerable Sir, I have such confidence in the Blessed One that I believe there has not been, nor ever will be, nor exists at present, another ascetic or Brahmin more knowledgeable than the Blessed One with respect to enlightenment. Lofty indeed is this bellowing utterance of yours, Sariputta. You have roared a definitive lion's roar. Have you now, Sariputta, encompass with your mind of the mind, encompass with your mind the minds of all the Arahants, the perfectly enlightened ones? arisen in the past and known thus. Those blessed ones were of such moral discipline, or of such qualities, or of such wisdom, or of such meditative dwellings, or of such liberation. No, Venerable Sir. Then, Sariputta, have you encompassed with your mind the minds of all the Arahants, the perfectly enlightened ones, who will arise in the future and known thus? Those blessed ones will be of such moral discipline, or of such qualities, or of such wisdom, or of such meditative dwellings, or of such liberation. Known, Venerable Sir. Then, Sariputta, have you encompassed with your mind, my own mind, I being at present the Arahant, the perfectly enlightened one, and known thus, the Blessed One is of such moral discipline, or of such qualities, or of such wisdom, or of such meditative dwellings, or of such liberation? No, Venerable Sir. Sariputta, when you do not have any knowledge encompassing the minds of all the Arahants, the perfectly enlightened ones of the past, future, and the present, why do you utter this lofty, bellowing utterance and roar this definitive lion's roar? Venerable Sir, I have such confidence in the Blessed One that I believe there has not been, nor ever will be, nor exists at present another ascetic or Brahmin more knowledgeable than the Blessed One with respect to enlightenment.
Okay, thanks, Sister Billy.
Thank you.
This sets the background. Sariputta told the Buddha, I have a strong confidence that the Buddha is, simply put, the best out of all the ascetics. And then the Buddha starts to question him. Why do you say such when you haven't even encompassed my mind? You haven't even read my mind. Why do you say such a lofty utterance? Let's read the footnotes 58. This sutta is included in the Mahaparinibbana Sutta, but without the last paragraph. A much more elaborate version makes up Digha Nikaya 28. Footnotes number 59. SPK identifies of such qualities and Wang Dhamma as qualities pertaining to concentration, Samadhi, Pakha, Dhamma. So, referring to all these lines. The Blessed One was of such moral disciplines, of such quality, such wisdom, of such liberation. Qualities pertaining to concentration is referred by the commentary. And then series of questions, the Buddha asked the Sariputta, have you encompassed my mind with regards to these qualities, these qualities? Okay, so the first one is the Arahants and have you encompassed the mind? All the Arahants and all the perfectly enlightened ones, in plural, will arise in the future. Okay, the second one, I being at present the Arahant, the perfectly enlightened one. This seems to imply a specific, just one. Previously, it's a many, so let's go back. Previously, all the Arahants, the perfectly enlightened ones, now it seems to narrow down to singular Arahant and the perfectly enlightened one. So I think this refers to the Buddha. Yeah, just the Buddha, the perfectly enlightened one. And then To both questions, Venerable Sariputta replied, no. And then the Buddha asked, if you haven't encompassed the minds of Arahants and the Buddhas, then how can you say that there has not been, not ever will be, any ascetics of Brahmin more knowledgeable than the Buddha with respect to the enlightenment? The last qualifier is important because well, maybe other person is more knowledgeable at, let's say, making a table, a carpenter. Maybe others are more skillful at painting, but with respect to enlightenment, of course, the Buddha is more knowledgeable. Okay, I'll continue reading. I think we can finish this sutta today. I do not have, Venerable Sir, any knowledge encompassing the minds of the Arahants, the perfectly enlightened ones of the past, the future, and the present, but still I have understood this by inference from the Dharma. Suppose, Venerable Sir, a king had a frontier city with strong ramparts, walls, and arches, and a single gate. The gatekeeper posted there would be wise, competent, and intelligent, one who keeps out strangers and admits acquaintances. While he is walking along the path that encircles the city, he would not see a cleft or an opening in the walls, even big enough for a cat to slip through. He might think, whatever large creatures enter or leave this city, all enter and leave through this one gate. So too, Venerable Sir, I have understood this by inference of the Dharma. Whatever Arahants, the perfectly enlightened ones, arose in the past, all those blessed ones had first abandoned the 5 hindrances, defilements of the mind that weaken wisdom, and then, with their minds well established in the 4 establishments of mindfulness, developed correctly the 7 factors of enlightenment, and thereby they had awakened to the unsurpassed perfect enlightenment. And Venerable Sir, whatever Arahants, perfectly enlightened ones will arise in the future, all those blessed ones will first abandon the 5 hindrances, defilements of the mind that weaken wisdom, and then with their minds well established in the 4 establishments of mindfulness, will develop correctly the 7 factors of enlightenment, and thereby they will awaken to the unsurpassed perfect enlightenment. And Venerable Sir, the Blessed One, at present, the Arahant, the perfectly enlightened one, again the same pattern, first abandon the 5 hindrances, defilements of the mind that weaken wisdom, and then, with his mind well established in the 4 establishments of mindfulness, develop correctly the 7 factors of enlightenment, and thereby he has awakened to the unsurpassed perfect enlightenment. Good, Sariputta. Therefore, Sariputta, you should repeat this Dhamma exposition frequently to the monks and the nuns, to the male lay followers and the female lay followers. Even though some foolish people may have perplexity or uncertainty regarding the Tathāgata, when they hear this, the Dhamma exposition, the perplexity or uncertainty will be abandoned. From Samyutta Nikaya 47:12. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Okay, let's take a look quickly. Okay, this one is the analogy given by Sariputta, like a gatekeeper. A very perfect gate and no walls, not even a cat can slip through. And that's why the gatekeeper has such confidence. Whatever creatures enter or leave this city, all enter and leave through this one gate. And then Venerable Sariputta back again. He understood this by inference from the Dharma. First, he started with Arahants perfectly enlightened ones arose in the past. Yeah. All those blessed ones. So this is the first pattern. Abandon the 5 hindrances all the way to unsurpassed perfect enlightenment. We highlight this. Okay, so the first one arose in the past. The second one will arise in the future. So the same pattern repeated for the future. So all the way until here. And the last one, we have referred to the past, we have referred to the future. Now, Venerable Sariputta referred to the present, and the present, the current Buddha. And the same pattern repeats again. And with that, we have concluded this sutta, and we have finished reading 3 suttas today. And then we will be left with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more sutta to finish the book. It's just nice, 8 a.m. Any questions or comments? If not, would Sister Singhui like to do the dedication?
愿消三障出烦恼，愿得智慧真明了，不愿罪障悉消除，世世常行菩萨道。
Thanks, Sister Singhui. Till we meet again, may we be guided by the Buddha, Dhamma, and the Sangha. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Have an unsurpassed Sunday ahead. Okay, thanks everyone. Have a good Sunday. See you guys.
Thank you. Bye. Good Sunday.
Bye.